Today we're going to talk about literal equations. So the first question is, what is a literal equation? A literal equation is an equation that contains variables and letters. So we're going to use this property word bank to answer some of the questions below. So this tells us what to solve for. So we're going to put a circle around that. That's our Christmas present. And we need to unwrap our Christmas present. So to unwrap it, we need to do opposite operations of what's around it. So what's around it right now is my plus b. The opposite is to subtract. So we're going to cancel those. So now we have a equals c minus b. A is now by itself. I've unwrapped my Christmas present. So that means my answer is a equals c minus b. And the property I used was subtraction property of equality because I subtracted the same thing from both sides. We're going to abbreviate this as sub for subtraction. All right, so now we move over here. And it says we're going to solve for x. So that's my Christmas present. What's around it is this y. And then we have equals z. So to undo a positive y, we're going to subtract it from both sides. And we have z minus y. X is now by itself. Our Christmas present is unwrapped. So my answer is x equals z minus y. And the property I used, we subtracted something from both sides. So again, that's subtraction property of equality. So this one says solve for a. So I'm solving for a. That's my Christmas present. The first thing around it is this x. But then there's another layer of this plus b. So we have to deal with the biggest box first. That's like the wrapping paper. So the opposite of plus b is minus b. Okay, but now my Christmas present is still in a box. So I need to get rid of this box. When there's no operation between, that means to multiply. So I'm going to divide, that's the opposite, to try to get rid of it. So now my Christmas present is unwrapped, and it's equal to c minus b over x. So that's my answer. So it's asking me about my properties first. We subtracted, so that's a subtraction property of equality. Then we divided by x, so that's my division property of equality. All right, let's move on to number 4. So they're asking me to solve for x. So that's my present. It has a box around it, and then it's wrapped. So I need to undo the wrapping paper first. So that's a positive z, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. And now I need to open the box. So again, this is being multiplied by each other, so I need to divide. Okay, so now my present is unwrapped, and that's my answer. So first, we subtracted z from both sides, then we divided by y. All right, let's move on to if they ask for a formula. So the key thing here, there's a lot of words going on, but you want to make sure you find the equation. That's where our equal sign is, and then figure out what I'm trying to solve for. So it says solve the equation for h. So that's going to be my Christmas present. So I'm going to rewrite our formula. And they're looking for h. So it's wrapped in a box. It's in a box, and there's wrapping paper around it. So we got to unwrap it first. So this is a positive 2b, so we're going to subtract because it's our opposite operation. Okay, and now we need to just open the box. So that's multiply, so we're going to divide the opposite. So now my Christmas present is by itself. So now I have my answer. So I'm just going to reorganize this. And that's my answer. So first, we subtracted 2b from both sides, then we divided by p. All right, so let's do our last problem. So again, this is a lot of words. We want to look for our equation. And it says Colin wants to find T. So that's the letter that we're solving for. That's going to be our Christmas present. So we're solving for this. It's in a box and it's wrapped. So let's unwrap it. The opposite of positive P is negative P. Okay, so now we need to open the box. This is multiply, so we're going to divide. So the P's cancel, the R's canceled, and now I'm left with A minus P over PR is equal to T. So now we can just reorganize this. So we have T equals, and I just copy the rest down. All right, so first we subtracted, then we divided. So those are our properties.